Good morning, chaps.
Morning.
Well, as I said earlier, let's go where angels fear to tread, shall we? What do you think about this government obesity czar, who's yesterday came out and said that here's a really good, quick way to reduce obesity in the UK. You just serve women smaller portions in restaurants, pubs and cafes.
When I heard about this, I thought, is the government obesity czar a bloke? Of course he is, which is why he's come up with this ludicrous, sexist, ridiculous plan. I mean, it's just absurd. It's insulting and it's patronising.
Yeah, I'll have the steak, please, and something for the little lady.
Yes,
not very much, you know.
But she can pay for it.
Right, if you pay less, and you can say I can have the little meal, the medium meal, or the big meal, that's fine. But really, come on,
she could just have the children's.
Silly.
Why doesn't the woman just have the children's portion?
Right.
Well, it would feel, I can just, particularly if you were...
Chicken nuggets and a fish finger.
Yeah. If you were a couple eating together and you ordered the same thing off the menu and it was conspicuously obvious that your wife or partner's portion was obviously smaller than yours, it would just... I would feel very awkward.
Yeah, what happens if you've, if you're a man and you're married or your partner's a heavier woman, shall we say, and you're the little bloke, are you then going to get, the children's menu?
Well, logic would dictate that you should.
And actually...
Because it is based on size.
If you get some, 20-stone bloke coming in, shouldn't you say, oh, look, you could do with losing a bit of weight, mate. I'm going to give you a little bit less. It's only one scoop of mash for you, not two.
However, women don't need as many calories as men, and there is an obesity crisis. And a lot of women might think, why am I paying full price for a full plate of food that I am not going to eat all of? Why isn't there a smaller portion option?
It's because it's a lot easier for a restaurant, in truth, to have standard sizes, standard prices. You do get a children's portion. I suspect you order it occasionally.
But lots of people who want to eat fewer calories don't want to ask for a children's portion.
You can also ask for a box to take it away if you don't eat it all.
But you know what what you do when
you can. But actually, I know that you're all raining on this poor chap's parade, but actually, why not? Why is he an idiot?
He's an idiot. It's the most stupid sex thing I've heard in years.
It's not sexist-centric because he's also offering it to shorter men.
Oh,
shorter?
Yes. He says if men...
Do you get measured when you go into the restaurant?
...are smaller,
is that what you do?
they should also be offered...
You can get it. So he's more of an idiot than I thought he was.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Can we not call him an idiot? He's the chairman of the flagship Obesity Healthcare Girls programme. No, he's not. He's trying to suggest that... Right,
He's making it a joke.
There is an obesity crisis. Too many people are fat.
Right, OK.
Andrew, what would you do? Just tell them to eat less?
Yes.
Right. He's suggesting...
Tell them to go for a walk.
He's suggesting...
Do some exercise.
There is a way to help them eat less.
Don't eat a dessert when you go to the restaurant.
Can you imagine?
Don't have a dessert, don't have a starter.
Do you want the man's meal or the wimp's meal? Which do you want? Do you want the puny, pathetic meal, or do you want the big, hulking bloke meal?
With the supply on aircraft as well.
Well...
And actually, if you think about it, if you go in to buy ready meals in supermarkets, they are kind of averaged to be one portion for one person. They're not sexually discriminated, are they?
Oh, well, you could have different aisles. You could have the men's aisle
that's a good idea.
and the women's aisle.
Yeah.
And actually, because we're in a modern world, we'll have to have a trans aisle.
You took us there immediately. The academic said that when only one portion...
I thought he might be.
He's a professor.
But actually, there is a lot...
What's his degree in?
There is...
What's his degree in? Byzantine history.
I can see why Susanna is sympathetic, right?
Yes.
Because there is a problem, and it's how do you approach it. But this is not the way.
OK.
Because it would overcomplicate...
I mean, I think wine is often referred to as liquid cake because it is full of calories. Yeah. Should women have 25% less in their glass?
Yes, probably.
Half a glass.
Guinness isn't only a breakfast drink. You can have it any time you like.
And women don't have to eat it all on the plate. Or they could even say, I don't need as many chips, or I can have a smaller steak. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yes, but the point is they pay the same. So you're actually coming round to his idea.
No, I'd say the hospitality industry is reeling at the moment, and this is the last thing it needs.
But he's not promoting the hospitality industry. No. He's promoting people's health. Yeah, and he's trying to solve a crisis, an acknowledged crisis.
The way we do that now...
In our eating habits.
In many restaurants, you have the calorie count of the meal, and it's listed. So, I mean, I myself look at it, I think, blimey, I'm not going to have all those calories with that. And also I'll go down the calorie count in my choice. And I think people do that all the time. men as well.
But this is a recipe for strife. Can you imagine the couple there and the guy unwittingly says, "Are you having the smaller portion, love?" To which he says, "What are you suggesting?"
Yeah.
And that's the evening ruined.
Professor Naveed Sattar is not an idiot, categorically.
What is he?
And he has very active lawyers.
Cardiometabolic health. So I would suggest that his qualifications are more eminent than yours,
but not
Andrew.
much common sense,
I
which you often get with people who are very clever.
Yes,
I think he's very brave.
I think he is as well, and I think sometimes you have to think outside the box, and you do have to propose radical ideas, because if we do the same thing over and over again, we get the same results. And so why not suggest it? And when you ask, would this happen to ready meals? Yes. Proposals would apply to pre-packaged sandwiches from supermarkets, ready meals, and takeaway pizzas, and even coffee shops offering lattes and cakes. Because as you mentioned earlier, an average man needs 2,500 calories a day, and an average woman needs 2,000.
But don't you just eat less overall during a day? Rather than the same when you go out in the evening.
Or have an apple.
I'll have the ladies'
rather than
meal,
the dessert.
rather than the men's meal.
I mean, so you save calories in the day and then splurge when you go out.
So I agree. Challenging conventions and thinking out of the box is the right way. And he's not an idiot. I don't think
Thank
this.
you, Kevin.
I don't know
him personally, but I feel
Not-
insulted on
nor-
his
nor-
behalf.
nor do
What do you think the Minister for Equality will make of this?
I don't think this idea.
The Minister for Women will make of this.
Is a great idea, but you keep thinking of it, and look, you had to fight tooth and nail to get calorie counts on menus, and there was and get traffic light systems on food. And you want processed meals to be healthier.
Yes,
and they
what
get
I
more
think
healthy
is
options.
it is hard to lose weight healthily.
Yes.
And so what he's suggesting is supportive measures to help people not eat as many calories.
But if you go in,
it's easy for you to say you two are slim.
Imagine
and you
you
look
just
after
going
your
on a
health,
first
but it's
date.
not always
You're on your
easy.
first date.
Listen,
You're on your
I
first
think
date.
technically he's right, but
You have the girly
socially it's
menu.
a minefield.
Yeah, the first date.
First date,
Valentine's night. Oh no, not for you, dear. You have that one.
But you could get your fork and lean over. I'll have that. I'll save you.
mustn't eat that.
It doesn't have to be called a ladies and short men's portion.
Right.
It could be called...
Is it for short women as well, or just short men?
They'd have to be given an even smaller
get 50%.
portion, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
It would be standard and alternative, or grande and mini grande, or
You're
whatever.
now going to fat shame the blokes by saying what you want the mega meal.
No, because they wouldn't be gendered.
I love it. Maguire pushes back.
I know.
All right, look, I wonder if I mentioned aircraft food. What about food on trains? I mean, we all fondly, he said, ironically, remember the British Rail sandwich, whatever size it may have come in.
Cardboard.
We may be returning to those days because we are about to call the trains that take us from A to B or not. Oh, there it is. That is the infamous British Rail sandwich from the 1970s. We've actually found pictures.
And why are we returning to that, Richard?
Because there is going to be a new way of referring to our railway companies in this country. We're going to be calling them, because basically they're all becoming nationalised, Great British Railways. And later, the Transport Minister will come onto the programme to talk about it, they're going to rebrand our trains. They're going to have new logos, they're going to have new livery, and it's basically dressing up a fairly shabby turkey as a fresh bird. But it's basically going to be the same thing, isn't it?
Can we just have trains that run on time?
Well,
and are less expensive?
That's part of the plan.
Right.
So it's renationalising
Because I'm not sure
the
that
railways.
Because one or two railways have already been taken back into
7 major train operators already in public
hands.
hands.
Punctuality has improved.
It hasn't gone up.
Exactly.
It hasn't gone up.
There's been no
I don't
change.
care what colour my train is painted in or what logo is on the nose. I want it to be clean when I get inside.
Yeah.
And British Rail trains were filthy.
Yeah.
And I want it to leave and arrive on time.
Yeah, but they were filthy after privatisation. You can still get some filthy trains.
Yeah.
I've been on some. Then I can get on others. I use LNER a lot from London up to Newcastle, and it's a really great service. I think that is in public ownership. But you're right. They want to make the system work, but one of the ways you do that is you join it all up rather than having competing rail companies. So if one train's late, the other one doesn't wait for it, so passengers can cross over and so on. It just makes sense. It's something that needs to be operated as a whole, not have lots of different competing.
The way it was privatised was disastrous.
By John Major.
Yeah, by John Major.
Even Thatcher.
She would not privatise the railways.
So the Railways Bill is being debated in the House of Commons today, and it will create this new organisation, Great British Railways, which does sound a lot like
Yeah.
British Rail.
Yeah.
But it will bring together 17 different organisations, and the whole point is to maintain and improve the railways, and there will be a strengthened passenger watchdog which will investigate poor service.
Yeah.
I mean, that, you know, it has been really problematic, the privatisation of the railways, already being brought back into nationalised hands, and hopefully, over the course of the Parliament, we'll see better, more improved, more punctual train journeys.
We've also got probably the most expensive trains in Europe. They're
Rail
really
fares have just
expensive.
been
Frozen.
They've been frozen.
First time in a long time.
Yeah, but they are so expensive.
What is it about Britain that makes us inefficient at running a national railway system? I mean, other countries do brilliantly.
Yeah, yeah.
Italy's trains, French trains, German trains, American trains.
Spanish.
They run on time,
They do,
they're clean.
they do.
They're good systems.
Yeah.
We invented the
Yeah.
railway,
Yeah.
yet we seem unable to run an efficient system.
Yeah,
Privately or nationally.
Yeah, we got off to a good start, flying start. We were first, and then we sort of lost our way. I don't know.
Do you think, is there a... what I'm asking is there a
comes down to investment,
is there a common
actually.
theme across the country in what were the pre-existing privatised companies, which are now all coalescing together? Is there a common theme to explain why we have so many cancellations and so many late-running trains?
Well, often you hear there's a shortage of staff.
Right.
That's a problem. I think morale amongst staff is appalling.
A couple of times I've been delayed because of cows on the line, which makes me...
Wrong
makes
kind
me
of leaves
smart,
on the
yeah.
line.
Snow.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to tackle that. But we will speak to Heidi Alexander, the Transport Secretary, this morning.
But, you know, you bring it back into public ownership, and I think that's absolutely right. It doesn't mean you have to bring back the old sandwiches anymore.
The rich is fixated on the sandwiches.
The steam trains. I mean, we're not. You know, we're not doing that.
Well, how do you know, Kevin? I mean, maybe they will bring back the old sandwiches because they were cheaper.
For riches.
And you may eat fewer of them, which would lead to
will there be a
tackling
sandwich
the
for
obesity
women and a
crisis.
sandwich for men?
Exactly right. There we go.
No, and you could have a modern sandwich and one for the nostalgia brigade.
Or you can go by car. But if you go by car, here's another fascinating report out this morning. Did you know that 1 in 15 of car registration plates in this country are dodgy? They're basically illegal, and a lot of them are deliberately so that when you go past a police camera, whether it's being handheld in a police car or it's one of the yellow ones by the side of the road, it can't read your number. It's a deliberate intent to defraud. We can actually see how it operates.
So on the right-hand side, you can see these are Irish number plates, but I wonder if we could just scroll back. You can see the number plate there, clearly visible. But when you put the ANPR camera on these ghost plates, as they're known, we can't see it.
You see a man.
Yeah, we see a man with a camera. There we go, the left-hand side.
disappears.
It's invisible. We
disappears.
got there in the end. And underneath, you can see the ghost plate.
It's quite clever if totally underhand and
Totally illegal. Completely illegal.
But of course, the problem will be if they hit you or hit your car.
Yep.
They're very unlikely to have insurance, and it'll be very difficult to track them down.
There are also cloned plates where a criminal will simply look at your number plate, go and get one made. There are over 30,000 suppliers of number plates in this country. They're not regulated. You can go virtually anywhere and get a number plate made up by an unregistered provider, and they will fit your number plate to their car, and you're the one who gets all the speeding tickets and the parking fines and all the rest.
I'd hate it to be in a position you can only supply number plates if you've kind of got a licence to give people licence plates. But if
You'd hate to see that situation.
Well, yeah, because
I think it makes
then you're going to put
great
a lot of
sense.
places out of business. But if this is a persistent problem and the cops discover...
Well, it is a persistent problem.
...that certain people, certain businesses are supplying a lot of dodgy number plates, then it's crush the person.
But if I were to do that, or if I were to coach my number plate with this particular spray, which means that it can't be read by a police camera, I would expect, if I was found out, to lose my licence. But currently, the standard punishment is 6 points on your licence and a fine. I think it should be much, much heavier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That doesn't sound like a deterrent to me.
Not at
You
all.
need 12 to lose your licence for a short while.
Be banned.
You should, and banned from driving.
That's what I mean.
Completely agree.
You just say, if you got to get a number plate, you've got to take the registration, proof of the registration of the car. You've got to take the ownership document, which has the registration on, and take your driving licence too. And they have to.
I think that is a requirement.
Is that the requirement now?
Well, I have a feeling it is. But of course, if it's not enforced, you'll have criminals or organisations which are running these number plate rackets.
Yeah.
And the all-party parliamentary group says criminals are using these plates not just to avoid congestion charges, fines, speeding fines, and other fees, but also to facilitate rogue trading, drug dealing, and organised crime such as human trafficking and people smuggling. Ghost plates, says National Trading Standards, pose a serious threat to counter-terrorism operations. Of course, when you hear that, you think, of course, because you've got a ghost plate on your car.
Yeah, it's really serious.
Your car's not going to get tracked.
It's easy to do.
They can bypass surveillance systems around critical infrastructure like airports and government buildings, which creates vulnerabilities that can be exploited by terrorist groups planning vehicle-borne attacks.
And you know how they got these figures of 1 in 15? Just by a series of random stops. It was not a police operation. They did, over a couple of weeks, they did a series of random stops, and they were gobsmacked at the number of illegal plates that they found. Not accidentally illegal, but illegal with intent.
Amazing.
It is extraordinary.
Shocking stuff. Right.
Flu?
This morning... Do you want to talk about flu?
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you had your flu shots?
No, I haven't, actually.
I have anti-flu, but I saw those figures that in England alone, by the end of the week, 5,000 to 8,000 people in hospital.
Yes, it's up 50% on this time last year.
That is frightening. That's a lot of hospital beds filled by a lot of
Apparently it's
sick
a
people.
particularly virulent strain this year. It's not so much that the flu itself is more serious, although it can be. It's that it's much more easily transmitted from person to person.
Some people won't have it because they say the jab can induce the symptoms of flu, and they don't want to feel poorly for a few days.
Yes.
That puts a lot of people off, and a lot of people are just sick of vaccination.
It's understood that the chief executive of NHS England board said that by the end of this week there could be anywhere between 5,000 and 8,000 beds occupied by flu patients. The highest level ever recorded so far is 5,400.
Wow, so that's double virtually.
Yes, it's double.
Extraordinary.
I mean, that's a strain on the NHS.
Well,
and of course, the doctors are about to go out.
About to go on strike. They are.
Next week.
That's why the
Yeah.
I think it's the Academy of the Medical Royal Colleges has called for them to call off the strike.
Well, they shouldn't go on strike.
There is
Kevin.
There's
no reason to go on
conflict.
strike.
Well,
they've had a huge pay rise.
They've got grievances, haven't they?
It's just to tell you, it's the Academy of Medical Royal Colleges. They've made a very rare intervention. They don't normally stick their heads above the parapet, but they're basically saying, doctors, don't go on strike. But not now, not with this flu epidemic.
I think it's tens of thousands of people a year die of flu.
Yeah.
It's where when COVID came along, it was likened to flu, and you get used to in winters. Very sadly, people dying. Some have underlying conditions. Some are very, very vulnerable and old. Then others are not. But if you can get a jab, take it. I went to see someone play at Fulham, and they had a stall in the ground giving jabs.
Yeah. Well,
no ill effects. Like
I think
most
I'm
people
going to have
ill
one.
effects.
I'm going to have one.
Yeah.
have you heard yours, Susanna?
No, but you should have gone to see Crystal Palace play at Fulham, and that would have given you a boost.
Yeah, I think you won. You lost.
You certainly did, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Right, we're talking about our incredible campaign this year, since we launched this year's Good Morning Britain 1 million minutes campaign. Just over a week ago, more than 92.5 million minutes have been pledged. We would love to get to 100 million minutes. I mean, if we got there by the end of this programme, it would be extraordinary. The idea is simple. Give your time to volunteer. Help end loneliness. In a moment, we're going to hear from charities about the response so far. And if you want to find out about how you can help to end loneliness, you can see the QR code on the screen. They're just spinning away. What you do is you open up your camera on your phone and you scan the QR code, and a link will come up. And from there, you can see the charity partners who are involved and see how you can pledge your time. It doesn't require any money at all. We're just asking for you to donate minutes of your precious time.
Now, I don't know if you were watching yesterday, Monday, but on yesterday's programme, we heard from 83-year-old Rosemary. She was wonderful, about the difference that her weekly calls that come from a volunteer, Rowan, have made to her general confidence and kind of life happiness. She's only ever spoken to him on the phone.
Yes, every Friday at 3 o'clock.
Every Friday, yep. For a good half hour, they have a good old natter matter. But she's only ever spoken to him on the phone, as I say, so we surprised her because we got Rowan to come into the studio. And the charity that put them in touch, Re-Engage, has since we did this yesterday, had over 200 applications to be a call companion. Can we just see that moment yesterday when we surprised her?
We have... Rowan, look at us!
Oh, how wonderful to see you.
It's wonderful to see you too.
Thank
well,
you.
Rowan, of course, you knew that this was going to happen.
I asked you.
I know.
You acted that very well.
You've seen my sneaky side.
I haven't heard.
Oh, really? So what did you say to Rowan before the show? You said...
Well, it was last week.
You've told me everything. You told me about...
Oh, it's lovely, isn't
Brilliant
it?
moment.
And the fact that it inspires people to sign up. That's,
200.
So that's Re-Engage.
Yep.
They're the people who run those calls. And just such an amazing connection. It helps Rosemary and it helps Rowan.
You want to give Rowan a hug, actually.
Yeah.
When you see him there.
Yeah,
You want to say,
what a nice guy.
what a really nice thing to do.
That's an extra 6,000 minutes if we got 200 people to volunteer to make those phone calls on an average of 30 minutes a week. 6,000 minutes, fantastic.
And it's rather like a lot of us ring our parents. If you're not living in the area, you ring them the same time every week, and that's what's happening here.
Just to say,
What?
we've just gone over 100 million
What?
minutes.
What, in 5 minutes?
That's
In 5 minutes?
incredible. I thought by the
Amazing.
end of the programme
There we
we
are.
might get over 100 million minutes.
Fantastic.
That is you are remarkable.
Incredible.
You're incredible, pledging your time. It's extraordinary. And we're just ticking up. I mean, thank you to Rosemary and Rowan, because, you know, that has inspired so
Inspiration.
many people.
Inspiration.
Hundreds of people yesterday and, you know, thousands of minutes this morning. The Chatty Cafe is another charity involved in the campaign and says that 189 volunteers signed up in the first week, while Homestart has also seen almost 800 volunteer applications. If you're inspired, you can get involved by pledging your time. You just visit our website, itv.com/1 million minutes, or you can also use the QR code on the screen now. Open up your camera, click on the link and pledge your time to help people like Rosemary and people like Rowan, who help people like Rosemary.
That must be the biggest spike. Really, the biggest spike that we've had in people coming forward.
Absolutely.
I mean, to get from 90-odd to 100 in about 4 or 5 minutes is amazing.
Incredible. You're amazing. You're amazing as well, both of you, for pledging your time to us every morning.
But I'm very moved by Rowan and Rosemary.
Oh, that's
what it's all about, isn't it?
Exactly right. Yeah.
And just it's awful to think there are people who just don't see or speak to anybody and they feel isolated. And it's a blight on their lives.
Particularly older people who've lost their partners.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Rosemary.
Like Rosemary.
She has family, but it's the regularity of the call with Rowan
She looks forward to it.
that she looks forward to, and they've become friends. And wonderful to see them meet in person,
lovely.
face to face for the first
lovely.
time. Wonderful look on both
Well
their
done,
faces.
Good Morning Britain.
I'm going to get somebody for you.
Well, look, if you'd
We
like
enjoy your
if you'd like
company.
to retire to the waiting room, there's a large croissant for you waiting, and there's a 25% less.
Do gays get a smaller menu? I mean, just a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah, you get
Cheaper bill.
you get nout.
We'll see you at about 8:45.